Subscribe, please click the like button, share and subscribe. It's free.
I wonder if I could take you regionally to a very interesting person, Ibrahim Traore, the youngest serving president in the world, and he's fast becoming the poster boy for self-sufficiency in Africa. Is he the leader of the African revolution? He's turning down IMF loans, so he's saying no to the West. He's turning down support from Wagner, Russian-backed. He's saying no to the East. What do you make of him?
I think it's a romantic innuendo. I think, let's say this is real, because seemingly it is. A young captain in the military of Burkina Faso, taking over obviously the military, but immediately saying that all members of parliament will get a 60% slash on their salary, and that he will not take a presidential salary, but he will remain on the salary scale of a captain in the military. Secondly, when the dogs of war, let's call them the wild geese, came in, Wagner being one of absolute mercenary dogs of war, and asked, can they maybe assist? He said,
keep him in power.
No, thank
thanks.
you. Keep your claws where you are. Secondly, he goes to international meetings in his combat uniform. And I laughed because he even kept his combat gloves on, shaking leaders' hands. He waited his fatigues. And secondly, the IMF, knowing the wealth of Burkina Faso, goes there with the president of France, because they are an ex-French colony. And he tells both of them, the IMF and the previous colonizer, to go to hell. But it tells them so hard that in actual fact they start closing offices. So here's a young man, and I don't endorse all of the scenarios, but let me quickly tell you, this man decided there's no question he's going to be a dictator, but he went to ground, he met the people, and the people agreed. When he asked to renew his leadership for another 5 years, remember this is a guy in military uniform that took over the democracy, that expelled all the people in parliament. The country said, we want you for another 5 years. So I don't know, but I think that he's not wrong in his attitude. It's time that people in their own vested country stop relying on the West, stop relying on the woke ideology, stop becoming this absolute liberal synopsis of ideology that we cannot stand on our own. But let me quickly tell you, Chris, for a country to say no to the World Bank, the IMF, the West and that scenario, it takes rugby baller. It takes every kind of playable ball to get up and say, no, we have our own gold, our own gas, our own oil. And here's the thing, the day that people in this continent, Chris, go from aid and remove that one hand from aid, you're going to hear it here first, to trade. It's one hand, Chris. Africa must stop doing aid. We must go to trade. And we must be independent, self-sustainable, and market our goods. Because damn, if it's not the Proteas, Drinkers, and Bokker, then at the end of the day, how more proud can we be if South Africa's president would get up and say, no thank you, we don't want your help, we don't need your loans, we are going to monetize SA first. So up to this man, I would make him a general tomorrow, but he just doesn't want to. He stays captain, and maybe this is the real African renaissance that we need.
I think we'll keep a close watch on him, how he inspires other countries and leaders. And just...
Family, what do you think about the analysis of Neil Dibert analyzing the Burkina Faso president Ibrahim Traore? I think his analysis were on point, and he analyzed Ibrahim Traore in a good way. He didn't add anything, he didn't minus anything. but he was just on point, which is a good thing. When somebody does something good, he needs to get credit. This is what exactly Neil did when analyzing the situation of Burkina Faso and the president of Burkina Faso. Because what we don't understand in Africa is our leaders. We have a rich country called Africa. Having the rich country called Africa, it's got so much mineral resources. But having bad leaders, we end up losing those mineral resources, because when you take out mineral resources out of the country to other countries to process those minerals, one, they create jobs where they are going. That's point number one. Point number two, once they are processed and whatever product has come out of those minerals, they turn back to be sold to the same country they were shipped out. Then it becomes expensive. Why our presidents are not calling those big companies to come and establish a certain company to deal with the minerals, so that we benefit from the same minerals? Because the minerals are African minerals, but we are always called third world, because the same minerals, they are taken out of the country to other countries whereby they are processed. It doesn't make sense. So Ibrahim Traoré has put brakes on that. And the fact that he has put brakes, he is doing what a president should do in his own country. For every mineral that is in the country, it has to benefit its own people, like what Traoré is doing now. So I congratulate Ibrahim Traoré for what he's doing, and I want to say thank you to Mr. Neil Dibe for analyzing Ibrahim Traoré and giving credit where it's due. I really respect your analysis on Traoré, but for this one, you nailed it. Because most people, when a president or in a country gets into power through coup d'etat, most of them, they are power hungry. That's why they cause those coup d'etat. But for Traoré, it was not about power hungry. He was angry because he could see the president who was there before him, that he didn't care about the people in Burkina Faso. So that's why Traoré took it to himself to say, enough is enough. We have to do something different. And it's exactly what he did. Thank you for your analysis. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Nithi kuni bantu bakithi, ngiyanithanda ngothando lukalapa. I love you all. Noma izindlu zodaka kusekhaya lapha. Bravo, bravo.